Top fault the road, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a pretty decent video. May the 4th be with you. Happy International Star Wars Day, ladies and gentlemen. And today, to mark the celebration, I'm going to be doing a tier ranking video of all the Star Wars movies from all over the years. And yeah, this might be a long video because I've a lot to talk about these films. These films have had a special impact on me. I'm a mega Star Wars fan. And obviously there's going to be some films that are better than others. But yeah, this is going to be my own tier ranking. And without further ado, I suppose, let's get right into it. And first film we have here is Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And this is a film I actually rewatched not so long ago. And I've come to like a lot more from this film compared to my first watch. I definitely do think it's the weakest in the prequel trilogy. That's just because I think there's a lot of scenes in it that kind of drag on a little bit that aren't so interesting. But overall, though, it is still a fun watch. And I do have a soft spot for this film, but if I had to put it in a tier list, I'm sorry, I'm afraid it's probably going to have to go in D tier. Only just because I feel like there's just so much better Star Wars films out there. But yeah, Attack of the Clones, I'm afraid you're going to have to go D tier. Now, next film we have is The Empire Strikes Back. And, I mean, what can I say about The Empire Strikes Back? It's got to go S tier. Has to go in S tier. Absolute amazing film. Honestly, there's just little bad I could say about The Empire Strikes Back. I think it's just a perfect follow-up to a film that you could possibly make, and yeah, has to go in S tier. Next we have Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, The Force Awakens is a very nostalgic film to me because I remember watching this back in 2015 for the midnight premiere, and I think I was only about like 14 at the time when the film came out. So yeah, I was really on board for the sequel trilogy, and I was really hyped for this film. And it does have a special place in my heart, this film. I think this is, The Force Awakens on its own is actually a decent film. Even if the other sequel films, we'll get to them. But yeah, I really enjoyed The Force Awakens, and I'm going to actually put The Force Awakens, I'd say, on... Oh god, why is The Last Jedi there? I'm going to put the... Would I put it C tier? C or B? Do you know what? I'm actually going to put it on B tier, because I think I actually do like this film a lot, so I'm going to put it on B tier. Yeah. Next, we have The Last Jedi. Oh boy. Okay. When I first saw The Last Jedi, I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a very fun watch. I really liked the whole aspect of what they did with Rey and Kylo Ren and the Luke Skywalker dynamic. I thought was really cool. I know a lot of people didn't like what they did with Luke Skywalker, and I totally see why. But for me, I found it a very interesting take for his character to make the character we know like basically a complete bum and just kind of giving up all hope. Although I will admit, I think it could have been wrote a lot better than what they did it in the film. I feel like his whole reason for giving up was very rushed, and I feel like it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to why Luke Skywalker of all characters would become like that. But yeah. Overall, though, there is some scenes I feel like that do drag, like the whole scene in the Canto Bight with Finn and Rose. Honestly, a complete waste of time. I feel that whole scene was just unnecessary, that whole subplot. And the plot in the ship was just kind of eh. If I'm being totally honest, I just kind of thought it was very eh. Wasn't really the best. But there are some cool scenes. There are some good moments, I feel, in The Last Jedi. But overall, I'm sorry, Last Jedi, you're going to have to go low C tier. That's going low C tier. I think it's... I do think it is better than Attack of the Clones, maybe slightly, or I don't know. Actually, is it better than Attack of the Clones? Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, Last Jedi. You're going below. Last Jedi is going below Attack of the Clones. I'm afraid, Last Jedi, you're going to have to go there. Yeah, but that's it for the Last Jedi. Now, okay. Now we have the good stuff. We have Star Wars itself, the very original film from 1977, or A New Hope as it's called now, Episode 4, A New Hope I should say. And I'm just going to have to say straight out, this film, I'm just going to have to put up the screen. Nope, it's not going B tier. This is going at the very, very top, because to me this is what Star Wars is. A New Hope, Episode 4, A New Hope, is my all-time favourite film ever. I don't know if you know, but it is my favourite film ever. There's just very little... There's literally very little I can say that's actually bad about this film. I think it's just a great story. The effects for the time were absolutely superb. The music from John Williams was just perfection. And the characters are brilliant. And yeah, Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope is my favourite Star Wars film. And not just my favourite Star Wars film, but my favourite film of all time. So that is going S tier. Next we have Star Wars Episode 4... Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And I really do like The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace is a very nostalgic Star Wars film for me personally. I know a lot of people complain about things like the CGI and Jar Jar Binks, and you know, while I'll admit the CGI might look very dated today, I have to admit, for the time, it was very impressive, the CGI in this film. And honestly, the music by John Williams is just really, really good in this film. I feel like the music really hit hard in this film, and the characters I feel like were very entertaining and very enjoyable in this film. I really liked Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn is my favourite Jedi of all time in Star Wars. I don't know if you're aware of that. And I really love how Liam Neeson portrayed his character, and I really love what they did with Obi-Wan as well, making him like a Padawan in this film. I thought was really cool. I liked how Anakin made C-3PO, and you know, the relationship between him and Padme was very nice in this film, very entertaining, very engaging. And Darth Maul was a really cool villain in this, even though he had very little dialogue in this film. I think he was a really cool, menacing presence. And I gotta say, the lightsaber fight scene between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, one of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars. So yeah, I'm actually going to put The Phantom Menace, I'd say, would I put it A tier or B tier? It's very tough. You know what? I think I might put it at B tier, because I feel like overall, as an experience goes, I feel like I enjoyed the Force Awakens just a little bit more personally. But The Phantom Menace, I still do have a very soft spot for it. So yeah, I probably put it B tier. I think that's a good place to put The Phantom Menace. Now we have Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And what can I say? I feel like this is a perfect ending to a perfect trilogy. This film, I feel, has my very favourite version of Luke Skywalker. The most mature Luke Skywalker we've ever gotten. He feels like the character journey, I feel, from A New Hope all the way to Return of the Jedi is just unbelievable when it comes to Luke Skywalker. He starts off like as a wide-eyed, you know, naive teenager pretty much, and becomes like a Jedi Master in this film, and it's really cool. I think the whole relationship between him and Vader is just done excellent in this film. The Emperor by Ian McDiarmid in this film was just unbelievable. So good, in fact, that they brought him back for the prequel trilogy. That just goes to show how good of a performance he was. And Jabba the Hutt, I feel the whole scene in the not the cantina, but the Jabba's palace back in Tatooine, the puppetry in Jabba the Hutt was just something else, I feel, in this film. Really, really impressive, especially for 1983. So yeah, Return of the Jedi, that has to go absolute S tier. for me. Do we have it up there? Yes, we have it up there. And next we have Star Wars Rogue One. Rogue One is a film I've come to really like. When I first saw Rogue One, I liked it. I didn't really think too much of it after that. I just kind of saw it as an experiment film and nothing really more to me. But as the years have gone on, I've come to really like what Rogue One tried to do with Star Wars. It tried to make something a lot more grittier, a little bit more kind of, intense. The film really does capture the war side of Star Wars, I feel, very well. They show what the Empire are actually doing to different planets in this film. The only thing I will say about this film is that I feel like the main characters themselves, while they're not bad, I don't think they were really the most interesting to me personally. I thought Jyn Erso, the main character herself, I didn't really find that interesting overall. They do make some things about her character interesting, like her father was one of the engineers in the Death Star, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, her father was more of an interesting character, I feel, than Jyn herself, which is no offense to the actress. Chirrut, I thought, was a cool character, the blind kind of sort of a Force wielder. He wasn't exactly a Jedi, but kind of a Jedi wannabe. I thought he was interesting. And Cassian Andor, again, he was a cool character. And he's even got his own TV show now, the Andor series. So, yeah, that's cool and all. But again, I feel like what really highlights this film, we gotta admit, is the scenes with Darth Vader. The scenes with Darth Vader in the scene, which are not much, but are just so, so good. So cool. And yeah, I really think this film, Rogue One, I'm probably going to put on... I'm going to put A tier, and do you know what? I've actually changed my mind. I think I do prefer the Phantom Menace over Rogue One, and I feel I prefer the Phantom Menace over the Force Awakens. If I'm being really totally honest, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to change that order. So yeah, I'm going to put, and you know what? I'm actually going to. Even though I've said I really liked Rogue One, I do feel like it was good, but it also, I feel, it felt a lot like an experiment film. Like, there was some scenes in it, some characters that weren't very interesting, I felt personally. So I might actually put that on B tier, personally. Yeah, I'm going to put Rogue One in B tier for myself. So, yeah, that's going to have to be there. Now, next, we have some good stuff. We have Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And I love Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith, to me, is one of the greatest Star Wars films, I personally feel, out there, really. I feel the whole arc of Anakin's character in this whole film is just done really well. Him falling to the dark side, eventually, spoiler alert, I should have said a spoiler warning in this video, but I'm sure it's going to be Star Wars fans watching this video anyway. Yeah, honestly, this film is just a really, really good film, I feel, for any Star Wars fan. The action scenes in it are so cool. The fight scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin and Mustafar, again, one of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars with the lightsabers. What can I say? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant scene. And yeah, there's really little I could say bad about this film. I mean, people have complained a bit about Hayden Christensen's acting in this film, and I felt he was better in Revenge of the Sith, personally, than what he was in Attack of the Clones, so I really don't think he was that bad, personally. Ewan McGregor, again, fantastic. Natalie Portman, fantastic. Ian McDiarmid stole the show, and I just love Revenge of the Sith, so I'm going to have to put Revenge of the Sith. I was going to put it at high A tier, but you know what? I'm actually going to put it at S tier because it's a Star Wars film I really come back rewatching a lot. So yeah, I'm going to have to put that on S tier, Revenge of the Sith. Now we have Solo, A Star Wars Story. Okay, Solo, A Star Wars Story for me is a film, when I first saw it in cinema, I liked it. I thought it was grand, not amazing, but I didn't think it was bad either. Um, excuse me, but looking back on Solo, this film to me just felt like a checklist film. I feel like everything we knew about Han Solo already, they tried to do in this film. Alden Ehrenreich, I think, did a good job as Han Solo. I thought he looked the part well, he sounded the part well. But one thing I didn't really like is that I didn't like how naive Han Solo's character was in this film. He felt very wide-eyed, almost a bit like Luke Skywalker. And I get why they did that for Han Solo in this film, but to me, I didn't really feel like that felt like the same Han Solo we had in A New Hope, or, what the same Han Solo we've had in New Hope would be like, personally. So, I also really don't like the lighting in this film. I think the lighting in this film looks very dark. There's a lot of weird kind of dark scenes in this film that just look very dark and almost kind of hard to make out. And I get why they decide to go that route, because it's supposed to look like the underworld and show like the kind of crime lords and everything in that in this film. And I do like the design of the Millennium Falcon, in its prime in this film. I think that was really cool. And I like how Chewbacca and Han Solo met. I thought that was cool. And everything. But overall though, Han Solo, to me, it just feels kind of generic of a film, personally. Not bad, but I don't think it's not great either. So I'm actually going to have to put Solo below Rogue One. I'm going to put that C tier. And I think C tier is just a good place for it. Not a bad film, but not awful either. And yeah, that's where Solo's going to have to be. And last but not least, we have Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I really don't like this film. I'm sorry, I really do not like this film. I know it has its fans, and when I first watched it in cinema, I really did like it, but as time has gone on, it was really just kind of, I think, minus my Star Wars kind of nostalgia, mega fan kind of getting in the way of actually analysing it as a film. And the more times I've watched The Rise of Skywalker, the more it just feels like everything what at The Last Jedi I feel was trying to do, it took a 180 in The Rise of Skywalker, which I didn't like at all. I feel like that felt very... It didn't really match the whole what The Last Jedi was trying to do. And I know that's... Some people have said it's because they had different directors and they really didn't know what to do with the sequel trilogy, with the way it was planned. And yeah, I think that is a bit of a shame if that is the reason why. And the biggest thing I really didn't like though about the Rise of Skywalker personally was that it felt like, how to put it this way, it just felt soulless to me. I feel it felt very soulless. I didn't like the whole idea of Palpatine, the Emperor, returning back. I thought that was really, really bad. So yeah, Rise of Skywalker, you're going at the bottom of the list. And yeah, that is my tier ranking video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. May the Fourth be with you all, and thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.
Pretty decent, yeah, we're having a laugh. Our reviews are gonna be pure class.